CMPRadio.net. It's the station. CMPRadio.net, the voice of Chester.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Another edition of Delco Sports 360. I'm Dave Burman. Good live Monday night from our studios here right off of 5th Street in Chester, across the street from the historic Chester Post Office. Jean-Pierre Bryce is our engineer. He's got his daughter helping out here tonight. She'll be a talker. She's going to be a talker someday. Chester High Baseball we're featuring. And we are live again, everything archived on YouTube. Head coach Dan Waters, all the way to my right. In the middle, one of his star players. He's a senior or junior? He's a junior, Eric Lewis. Okay, Eric Lewis. I thought it first senior, but there it is on the roster, junior. And Jamal, Mr. Calm, Cool, Collected Martin.
Not during the game.
I get, yeah, right. Not during the game, so you got to, I know that, whatever. But anyway, assistant coaches on the team, of course, not here, but maybe down the road, J.R. Wells and Dre Solomon. The Chester High Clippers, what a rich history of baseball there is here in Chester, Pennsylvania. I'll talk about that later on. Dan, how is the season going so far? First of all, year number 3 for you?
4.
Your 4th season, but you missed the 1 year because of the virus.
COVID, right.
I call it the virus. So it's which is a form of a virus. So that was a 2020 season, and I was pushing for you guys to play though, but just didn't pan out. But anyway, you're a 4th season. Let's get into the season so far.
Okay, so far we started out. We're 2-4 at this moment. We lost the first game, right?
Yeah.
To
Interborough.
I have that score of 13-7 Bucks.
But we actually, for the first time since I've been here, the coach here, we lasted the whole 7 innings with them, and we put up a fight. And,
without the called the mercy rule or a 10-run rule.
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
10-run rule or 15-run.
Yeah.
So
it's 15.
Yeah, and then we beat Academy Park 17-7.
Yes. At Academy Park.
At Academy Park. And then we lost to Chichester, right?
No, you beat. Actually, it says here you beat String Theory.
String Theory beat us. Yeah, that's a team.
Wow. I've seen them in basketball. That's a charter school out of Philly, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's a team I thought we could beat. I really did. And my expectations weren't, they didn't go the way I thought it would, basically. Long story short.
I mean, I think it was a team we could beat. We just wasn't our day. Just wasn't our day. We came out, pitching was kind of flat. We played some good defense that game for the most part. But we just didn't hit the ball as well as we could have, or we probably should have.
Right.
So
Then on April 4th, Interborough, right here at the best-looking baseball field in the county, Chester High, 17-6 they beat us. The Bucks, with their intense coach. Yes. Anthony, right? Is it Anthony?
Yeah.
Okay.
Things just fell apart that game, and and then that, it is what it is, and then
at Chichester.
Yeah, you mean you're talking about Interboro?
Yeah, Interboro 17-6. Yeah,
No, that was Chichester.
yeah. Then the Chichester game 16-0.
Yeah,
Yeah, that game we got mercy ruled. The pitching was completely off that game. We couldn't find the strike zone almost at all that game. Unfortunately, we hit the ball well in that game, but we left a lot of batters stranded. And I mean, Chichester baseball right now is the hottest baseball team on this side of the county. If I'm not mistaken, they're still undefeated.
I have them. Vince Wildrick, his dad. I keep in touch with Jim. His dad keeps in touch with me, and they are 8-0. So they got to correct that District 1 website. They're 5A, top seed, 8-0. Their record, regular season record over the last 6-7 years, is unbelievable.
Yes.
I think they lost one regular season game, but in the playoffs are 1-8. The District 1 tournament. A Del Val High School baseball team, since it started the PIAA and the District 1 tournament in '77, we've never had a team from the Delaware Valley make the state tournament.
And their Coach Singley, is a really nice man.
Yeah,
Like,
Coach
he
Singley
texts
is a
me
great
to
guy.
help me out all the time.
Is that his nephew who is helping out the Cincinnati Reds?
I'm not sure,
Okay.
but he's a great guy. He actually texted me this weekend and told me that the playoff system in the PIAA is now 24 teams, not 16.
So
he said we have a chance to make the playoffs.
It goes from 20 to 24.
Yeah, now it's
6A.
at 24.
6A. It was 20.
Right.
And there was a bye in there in the first
So
round.
now we have a chance to make the playoffs, which he reminded me of, which was very nice of him.
You got Academy Park again on tomorrow.
Well, the last game he played was Thursday. That was a marathon. It was
Against
at 6
Linwood
o'clock at the Maple Zone.
17-13. What a facility that was.
3.5 hour game.
Well, what was the issue there, Dan?
Just basically pitching, I think, mainly.
Too many
I
walks.
think. Yeah, we got to a point where we actually did jump out on them early. We actually led 10-2.
17-8 at one point.
At one point, well, we jumped out on them early. We started out 10-2, and then we expanded the lead 17-8, and then we put in a freshman pitcher, Juan Martinez, to kind of get us along through the rest of the game. And I mean, it was his second appearance this season, and he's still a little bit nervous. He's still trying to get his feet under him. So he walked a couple of guys, hit a few batters,
Wild
and it kind of wild pitches, and kind of narrowed the gap for them in that game.
They scored like 3 runs on wild pitches. They got closer and closer, but then Juan shut them out. Thank God.
You got through it.
So yeah, we
with
did
a W,
it.
and
It was
then
long.
Academy Park tomorrow, 3:30 p.m. Then Dobbins Tech, out of right across the street from home plate of old Connie Mack Stadium, Philadelphia.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Hank the Bank Gathers went there. You know, the basketball, and Dawn Staley and Bo Kimball now coaching boys basketball at Overbrook. So you play Dobbins Tech, and that game is going to be down here. So they should. Driving around, it was taking my dad around Chester. You know, my dad's from Chester, graduated Chester High, 55, and he played a lot of baseball. And I was taking him all over the place, and he'd just pointing that baseball field. There's so many baseball fields in this area. So how's the feeder program developing for Chester High? And you have a co-op with Chester Charter.
So if I can just cut in real quick, and I think that's the difference. Talk about how good Chichester baseball is right now. They have probably one of the best feeder programs on this side of the county. And the difference between Chester and Interboro and eventually Chichester is this much, and it's that feeder program. If we had a better feeder program, and the Jackie Robinson League here in Chester is one that's really coming along. We just have to get kids more excited about playing basketball in this community. The same way like
Baseball,
baseball in this community. The same way, you know, how the football team built their program up through the feeder programs. You have Coach Skip with Upland. You have
Charles Thompson.
With Chester, and then you have the Cougars up in Chester Township. So if we could get the feeder program going here in Chester, by the time guys get to high school, it wouldn't be their first time picking up a baseball in their life.
How long's the Jackie Robinson League been around, and what age groups are you talking there?
If I'm not mistaken, the age starts at either 5 or 6, maybe for Jackie Robinson, and potentially goes up to
Middle school.
Yeah, middle school, 12.
Before middle
So
school.
that's good. They're learning the fundamentals, catching the ball, positioning, and
Well, I know our athletic director, Coach Bell, he wants to start baseball at the middle school, and he's been trying to look for a coach. So that would be a way to
great opportunity out there,
right.
folks. Dan Waters, get in touch with him. Coach Bell, Jamal Martin here. Jamal with 2 A's.
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Okay, 2 A's. So can we? So anyway, you guys are ready for the next game. Chester High baseball.
Yeah, we will win tomorrow.
All right. So who?
Guarantee.
I'm going to run down the players. Okay. Right? There's no numbers on the roster, but I'll run down the man in the house here tonight, and he's he very good. I know he's a good speaker. He's talking to him before the show. Junior Eric Lewis, and you are originally from Philly, but you live here in Chester now. And tell us about your experience so far.
To be honest, coming from Overbrook is one of the best programs I've seen so far. The Overbrook experience I had, not talking bad on it, it wasn't what Chester High have. Chester High have like pride. They make me want to play, and I didn't just start off playing baseball by like picking up a baseball and saying, "Mom, I want to play baseball." It all started from seeing my brother play baseball. And I used to sit on the bench and go to his games. I was about like 3 or 4. And I'm just looking at him like, yeah, I want to play baseball. Like, it looks fun.
Where'd your brother go to high school?
Sadly, my brother is deceased right now. Funeral shooting in Upper Darby, July 8th. I'm sorry. July 8th, yeah. And
Recently?
yes, sir.
Oh, man.
So
Yeah, okay. But so
just,
he role model, obviously.
yeah, role model,
Hero,
pit,
role model.
Pit me into sports. Always talk to him about college, like like everything. My goals. That was my mentor, my health to keep me going. So like the most I do, I just play baseball, stick with my sport that he taught me and pit me into, just to do it for him and go to college.
How old were you when you started playing baseball?
I started playing baseball around 5. Been playing all my life. Been playing multiple sports all my life, not just baseball, basketball, football. Actually played soccer and hockey too.
Oh, man.
Also, if you know Drexel Hill around Upper Darby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, played
Babe
up there.
Ruth baseball?
Yeah, I played around Little League.
Yeah, they are
All my life.
really good Babe Ruth baseball there. But
Yeah.
Little League is, is
But yeah,
really
I
good.
started from near, progress my way up to UDHL, play for travel teams, play at school, Chester Charter, West,
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Played up there, started 7th grade, pitched an 18 strikeout game, one of my best games I ever threw in my entire career. I feel as though 18 strikeout, nobody hit off of me, 7th grade. And my progress from there, I just, looked into the game and just got better at it.
So junior year, and what is the position you play most in the field?
Well, most in the field for all my teams, I always play pitcher.
Oh, so is he your number one pitcher?
We're changing him to closer now. Like he is a starter. He's a fine starter, but we want him to be a closer now.
Well, you got to,
That's my pitching coaches.
got to have a good closer, Phillies.
Yeah,
He's the guy.
so one thing that like talking about the earlier talking about the earlier games, you mentioned where we hung in there with a couple of teams and kind of broke down the stretch because of pitching. We decided as coaches that if we have a more seasoned pitcher come in later in the game and kind of play a little bit of relief and even come in and close out games, maybe that'll help us to close out games and stay closer into possibly against teams
Hang
like
in
that.
there. Yep.
So where's Eric in the field?
Eric's always played outfield. Like we've had him at shortstop because he's our best, basically one of our best players. So, but he has expressed to me that he'd rather play outfield. So, long story short, we lost an outfielder this past week because of stuff that happened at school. He was our starting left fielder. So we've been putting Eric in there, and and he likes the outfield. So and he has a great arm. So makes sense. Like I'm fortunate that we have guys we can move around.
Right.
Different
Versatility.
position. Never had that before. So this is like the first year I've had that versatility. So
Eric, are you a Phillies fan? Is that your Major League Baseball? You're
Yes.
a Philly all the way. Have you been
Bryce Harper
to
all
games?
the
Have
way.
you met
And
any of the
Eagles.
Phillies players?
I would love to meet. Honestly, I would love to meet Bryce Harper, but I had the chance with the first team all public thing I was showing you earlier.
2000, that was 2 years ago.
Yes, sir. I had the chance. They was actually going to do a high school all-star game across the street from the Philly Stadium.
Oh, is that the Richie Ashburn Park?
I believe
Yeah,
so.
right,
Yes.
right.
And we was basically just supposed to have, the trainers, players come see us,
Mm-hmm.
But due to COVID, once again, we couldn't do that. So
But anyway, so hopefully you'll meet one of these guys. Maybe you can get the guy, your team, to a Phillies game.
yes, we are going to
Give you the experience, walk around the. If I owned a
Yes.
radio station around here, I know it's nice to be in a TV station. If I had the radio station, like I worked full-time radio 35 years, I'd give you a tour of the radio station. But this is pretty nice here.
Well, I used to work with Tom McCarthy, so he's,
then
the
he-
announcer,
yeah,
Phillies
of course,
announcer. Yeah, I worked with him in Trenton years ago.
Oh, there you go. There's your.
Yeah, he knows. Right?
Okay, well then you're in good shape, and you're a former radio guy like me, full time back in the day,
Yes.
up in Clearfield. Yeah, and
Nowhere land.
Yeah, I know, and I was in Lewistown, York, Harrisburg, all that stuff. So anyway, Chester High baseball, Dan Waters all the way to the right. We have junior Eric Lewis on the team here, and of course we have Jamal. Jamal Martin, assistant coach. Jamal. All I've been hearing is how intense you are and fired up. But it on the air, I'm more fired up on the air tonight.
Yes.
I don't know why I haven't been on a show in a while, but it's great to have baseball
probably
with the
why.
Burmans. We love baseball. All my nephews played baseball.
yep.
Episcopal Academy.
I've seen the
and
pictures,
Sammy's playing at Hofstra now, and it's tough. He's
Yeah.
off to a rough start. He's a freshman though. It's Division I baseball.
Yeah, you got
It's
to
tough.
wait your time.
You got to stick with. At least he's getting some at bats, and the Clippers. So let's run besides Eric here. Run down the guys.
Before,
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Jamal, no
Dave.
problem.
Just before you do that, I am very intense. I love the game of baseball. Like Eric was saying, I've been playing since I was 5-6 years old. My entire family plays baseball. My cousins, Jalen and Deron Harris.
They're your cousins.
Yeah, they're my cousins.
Yeah,
Well, they
he's
should
got
play
a lot
baseball.
of cousins.
They're my cousins. The baseball apple didn't fall close to their tree after their mom. But it's
Chester,
all
we
good.
have
They're
athletes, man.
Yeah.
You'd love
right.
to have kids play. We don't have boys lacrosse here.
Right.
We don't have boys volleyball. We don't have. I don't think we have swim. We're limited at Chester High. I'd love to see us get more sports. Soccer. We're working on soccer
And tennis. They're working on
and
tennis. too.
tennis.
Big credit to Coach Bell because he's trying to get some more of these sports into Chester athletics and get the students involved in even multi-sports, like not just football, not just baseball, not just basketball. He's a big proponent of that, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that speaks for that, but I'm behind him 100% on that. But real quick, if I can just say about Eric Lewis, he's I teach history, and he's one of my students. And during the fall, we were like playing our fall ball. We were recruiting some guys and everything like that. And all of my students know I'm one of the baseball coaches, and Eric overhears. And he goes, yeah, Mr. Martin, I play baseball. I said, yeah, right, you play baseball. He says, look at my hands. Just look at how big my hands are. And I said, woo! And I said, oh, my God. He does have a nice sizable hand, so maybe, we could use him as a pitcher or something like that. And I said, you know what? I'll make a deal with you. If you come out and you try out for this baseball team and you're as good as you say you are, I love you for the rest of your life. But he did come out, and he came to our winter conditioning sessions. And
I loved him the first day I saw him.
Yeah, he's been one of the leaders ever since. We got some great guys on this team, but he's blossomed into, for this to be his first year on this team, he's blossomed into a real leader. He does what we ask him to do. He shows up, he plays hard, and he leaves it all on the field. So I just wanted to just say that about him real quick. I'm sorry.
And I am wearing a number 14. It has a Jemai Springfield gave me this Chester baseball jersey. Pretty much. I helped. I was a PA announcer for one of his games. I think it was like a a reunion type game, alumni game, maybe 3-4 years ago. So thank you, Jemai. He's doing great things up in Pottstown, that area. So thank you. And I'm wearing this right now. And Jameer Nelson's number. Now, Jameer did not play baseball at Chester High, but that might have been his best sport, I hear.
Yeah.
Really?
If you heard those stories.
Wow.
Jameer, yeah. And Eric here kind of resembles him a little bit. I see a little Jameer Nelson there. Wow. Unbelievable. All right, Chester High varsity baseball. Kanief Riggins is a junior.
Yes.
All right, so you want to, real quick here, Jamal?
This is the first year he played baseball. He's an outfielder, and he's coming along. He's
learning
he's
the game a little
athletic.
bit,
He's
yeah.
extremely fast.
Yeah.
Extremely fast. So we're working with him, and hopefully by next year he'll be, ready to roll. But he's a backup guy.
Devon Beaver.
Devon.
I'm going to run them all down, okay?
Yeah. Devon's a great kid. He goes to STEM. He's been on this team for a few
3 years.
3 years now. He plays soccer, I believe, as well. His mom, you might know his mom, Carla Beaver. She's a big Chester.
She's a supportive parent.
Yeah, she's a
I remember Chester, really good basketball player back in the day, Keith Beaver. In the 80s.
They might be
I don't
related.
know, maybe.
Yeah, Keith was a great player. But that's Devon, right?
Devon.
Yeah, he's
Devon.
first baseman primarily, but he's also trying to pitch.
And he's a senior. Now, a ninth grader, Stephen Swin.
Yeah, Steven.
That's your buddy.
Yeah, that's my guy, Steven. He's a little guy. He also goes to STEM. He's a freshman. He came out for the team. And before he came out for the team, the principal of STEM, Principal Bell, reached out to me and said, "There's this guy." We had to move tryouts back for some technical reasons, and then he was at the gym waiting for us to try out. And Coach Principal Bell texted me and said, "There's this guy that goes to school here, Stephen Swin. He's waiting to try out for your baseball team. Is there any update on that?" I said, "Oh, we had to push it back a week, unfortunately," and he's been around ever since. So he's a freshman. He's got a lot of upside. He's learning the game.
Good swing.
He's a good swing. He can hit the ball.
Well.
He's also playing outfield for us.
He's very shy.
Yeah, he's shy.
But now he's starting
coming
to
out.
open.
You're
He's
serious
coming,
about
he's
that.
coming up.
Yeah,
He's
Because
very
we're
shy.
having some fun here tonight.
He's starting to come up.
James Carr, senior. You have
I guess I should take this.
Yeah, my guy Jimmy.
Jimmy. Yeah. Jimmy and his mom have been with me for 3 years now, and I literally say that because his mom is right there with him, very supportive. His mom's the best parent of the team. I mean, she's great. Jimmy, he's matured a lot. When he first started, he wasn't too mature, but this year he's very mature, and he can play catcher. He's a great center fielder.
He's a great center fielder.
Great center fielder. He can play basically anywhere you need him to. First base.
Yeah,
And Jimmy, and his hitting is starting to come around finally. I've been trying to help him for 3 years now, but
yeah, he's a really good baseball player. I
Very
think
good.
that too runs in his family. So James has been very helpful to us this year as a senior. He's been able to move around and play some different positions that we've needed him to play. He's gone from center field, which he loves to play, to behind the plate for us, catching for us the last couple of games, and he's pretty good. So we appreciate it.
hey, Jimmy.
Okay. Can you see the comment? Are there people making comments on the thread?
I don't see any.
Because a lot of times you can see people can ask questions and stuff like that on a thread there.
Maybe I'm
All right, let's see here. Freshman Juan, I'm trying to do my Dan Baker impersonation. Juan Martinez.
Now batting for the Phillies.
Yeah. Center fielder Gary Maddox, if you're that old. All right, so
Greg Lucen.
yeah. Oh yeah, there you go. Okay, tell me about Juan Martinez.
Juan's another freshman that we have that goes to STEM. He came out for the team. I call him Mr. Cool. He runs like a cool guy.
Yeah,
he throws the ball
guy.
like a cool guy. He's just Mr. Cool. And he's the pitcher I spoke about earlier. He's made 2 appearances for us. He throws the ball really, really hard for a small guy, a freshman at that. He just has to get comfortable. And I think over the next couple of years, if he stays with us, he'll be blossoming into one of our aces.
Absolutely.
Why wouldn't he stay?
I don't know why he would. I mean, I don't know why he wouldn't. I'm just saying.
Okay. He will stay.
Yes.
He will stay.
There you go.
In the gardens.
The same initials as
That's where he lives. Oh,
Dan. You remember
you
Juan
didn't hear that from me?
Juan Marichal, the same initials
Yes,
as
I
he was. You got okay. Now, is this Freshman, is it Larice?
Oh boy,
I'm getting it right?
Yep.
that's my guy.
Larice Cardona, 9th grader. Here we go.
Larice, I took him last summer to the Phillies RBI thing, and he tried out for college coaches, and he did okay. I mean, he wasn't great, but he was only in 8th grade, so now he's in 9th grade, and he started the game for us last Thursday.
Yes, Penwood.
And he led off. He's a leadoff hitter. He's fast, and he led off with a home run. It's to center field.
Over the fence.
Not over the fence,
Inside the
but
park.
to center field.
Okay,
The fence was way back.
Where's this at again?
This was at Maple
Zone
Zone.
and upper
Oh,
track.
okay. I thought they had fence. Okay, maybe
They do. They have a fence.
They do,
But
at the other
he
field.
just hit.
This field, it was way
Oh,
back.
so it inside the Parker. Okay,
basically.
so there
As
you
hard
go.
as it might be to believe,
But he's
So these ninth
he's a
grade-
great pitcher.
Yeah, a mile.
Like for his age, actually UCLA sent him a letter because they saw him pitching this summer in Maryland.
He got some
and they
balls.
said they're going to follow him.
Good.
So he's got potential.
Larice Cardona, freshman. Okay, junior Brandon Colon.
Brandon's one of our other Eric's a captain of ours too. We have 3 captains this year. Eric's one of them, and Brandon Cologne's one of our other captains. And he also goes to STEM. He's been playing third base for us. He's pretty solid. Has a great arm, good glove. His bat's coming alive a little bit.
He's
lately
just
too.
automatic. He's a natural.
Natural. He just pulls the trigger, and when he does,
Never
it goes
makes a
off.
mistake. Rarely, ever.
Yeah, you
Hardly
guys are
ever.
scoring runs,
It's
obviously. So
natural.
I want to get to the more
Yeah.
deeper into the team in a second here. Jose Colon, senior.
Jose Colon, Brandon's brother, also the other Mr. Cool.
Outfielder.
Yeah, he's a senior, and he's playing outfield for us. Last year, it's funny because we needed a whole field at shortstop, and he's a lefty. And, you never have a lefty playing shortstop, but we didn't have anybody else that could do it. So we had him playing shortstop as a lefty, and we laugh about it now, but we really needed it bad last year.
He's starting to hit too as well, like lately.
Senior
he's a
Jaden
lefty.
Mills.
Jaden's another one of my guys too. Jaden, he plays third base for us as well, and he's pretty solid too. Has a decent arm. He can fill the ball.
Jaden's, he's athletic.
Yeah.
Senior Quade Jones.
Quade, man. Quade is another one of my guys. Quade is another one of my guys. He's a great kid.
Fast.
He's a great kid. A great kid.
fast.
And he's got a great arm. He can throw. So you talk about that baseball field in Chester, one of the best you've seen. It's funny. I call it Clippers Bank Park, and people don't know why, but that's why.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a nice field, and he can throw the ball a mile. He can throw the ball from the 370 sign in center field all the way to home
Roberto Clemente stuff.
without sweating.
Yeah, he's a center fielder.
Without
He's,
sweating.
Unbelievable arm.
every time he
Quade-
catches a ball, he falls down. But he catches
he
the
wants-
ball.
he wants to
He
whiz,
just
yeah.
falls
Guy.
down. That's his thing.
work
It's
on
funny.
the footwork. He's a senior. Freshman Eric Yates.
Eric is a football player that we got from Coach Bell, and he's playing first base for us. He's a freshman, and he's learning the position. He's very athletic, but he's learning the position. He's coming around. I think he'll be a natural heir to our starting first baseman.
Yeah, he learned pretty quickly. He's an athlete. Yeah,
Junior Jamai Brown.
Bobby.
Mr. Bobby Brown.
Bobby Brown.
Yeah, Bobby plays the middle for us. He plays shortstop and second base. And we have been trying to get him to come out for this team for at least a year now. His brother played for us last year, Makai, and he's been very solid for us. He's hitting the ball really, really well, and he's doing a good job. And he's only a junior, so.
Trying to get him to pitch, too.
Senior Tony Campbell.
You know Tony Campbell, number 72.
You know
Campbell,
Tony.
the center for the Chester football team. He's
Tony.
There you go. Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't want to mess up his accolade. I don't know if it was all Delco, all state, but
Okay.
whatever the center. He played center for Coach Bell's football team, and he's a very athletic for the size that he has. He's a very athletic guy.
For a big guy, he
he's
hustles, man.
He's our third captain there, Tony Campbell.
He hustles a
He
lot.
plays first base for us, and then he pitches relief for us
All
too.
right. So that covers the players. You have JV too.
We do not.
We do not.
That would help too eventually.
We
Well,
have
we
guys
did
that are JV, but
That we list as JV because we
yeah.
had this year we had 22 people come out for the team when we had tryouts, and
So you kept
I mean, yeah, if you
15?
look at the lineup, and we had 22 people in total that came out. I mean, we could only carry 15 guys, but we kept the other guys as labeled as JV so that they can keep practicing with us and getting better and to fill those holes for next year.
The assistant coach is J.R. Wells.
Yes.
Okay.
JR is
Chester guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Guy.
All right.
JR was here when I started. When I was the assistant coach and made the head coach, it was me and him. Basically, it was just me and him
Correct.
for a couple of years until we brought on Dre and then Jamal. But he is the best outfield coach around. There's nobody like him. Nobody.
Dre Solomon.
I actually played with JR here at Chester High School back in the day.
Yeah, when did you graduate? 2007?
2007.
Okay.
And he graduated in 2008. And naturally, he was a center fielder for our team, and I was a left fielder. So we played next to each other for 3 years. And he's one of my best friends even now. So.
And real quick, Dre Solomon.
I met him through Dan McShane. That's a guy.
Oh, the head coach of the Chester baseball team in the Delco League.
Yes, he introduced me to him a few years. It was actually right before the COVID because we were working out in the batting cages, and I got to know him then. He's super nice guy, great guy. And I said, I got to have you on my squad, and he's a great pitching coach. So. I mean, I'm blessed. I'm blessed because I have 3 of the best coaches anybody could ask for. And, you know, we just hope the players can respond to us and bring us to where we need to be because that's been my mission since I took over.
I just noticed that on this roster, we actually missed a player, Marcus Benson.
Oh, yes.
Marcus, who's a junior, he plays second base for us. Marcus is a great kid, too, as well. He's in marketing, and he's takes a lot of our team pictures, runs our Instagram page. We have this mantra kind of from Coach Bell to make baseball sexy again.
That's true. That's true.
So that's
Coach Bell.
Yes.
Okay.
He told us that.
Yeah. So we're having fun with it. We take pictures, get some still shots, a little video in there.
Yeah.
And Marcus, to his credit, Marcus has some connections in the Chester community, and he went to just a plug for our sponsors real quick, the Chester Police Department and the Chester Boys and Girls Club. Were able to sponsor us and get us new uniforms. So we have those coming on the way. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, Marcus was good with that.
I love all sports. About me, but baseball was always a pain in the butt. I played Chester youth baseball back in the day, up on the top of the hill. Now it's a housing project, where homes are at the top of the hill. And I was a good catcher. I was a little heavy. Played with Chris Leggett, who's you see him on Facebook a lot. And I played ball with Chris and Bobby Webb and those guys. I just had trouble with the curveball. I always stepped in the bucket. And
Same here.
It's tough, man. I just had a fear. Guys like Mike Mills, I'm going back in the day. A guy named Mike Mills, I was so scared. Burman, we were facing Mike Mills tonight. You're talking maybe about 11, 12 years old, 10, 11, 12 years old. So that was my biggest problem. But I don't mind playing like street hockey and basketball. I'm very physical and stuff, but baseball's a game. But I do love guys like Pete Rose. I love Larry Boa, those guys that hustle. The Bryce Harper's out there. Grinders, hustle, and that's what you need out there. So let's talk about your practice. How do you get all right, game plan here. Game plan. So tomorrow, you guys are playing, as I talked about, we had it earlier.
By the way, the 9th grade pitcher we were talking about, Larry Cardonis, he throws a knuckleball.
Joe
And
Nuxall.
it's unbelievable.
Phil Necro.
Man, when you see it, it's just unbelievable.
You don't see that much anymore in Major League
he's
Baseball.
throwing a knuckleball. Coach Dre taught him that.
If you can get that over the plate, man.
He does.
It's it's tough. So baseball, so mental. It's making me mental now. Academy Park tomorrow. What is the game plan? You know your starting lineup, or and how do you practice? Tell me your practice schedule.
Well, we the night before, I'll send the starting lineup, with my suggested starting lineup, because as far as I'm concerned, like I'm the head coach, but that's just a title. Like I treat all my coaches like we're all the same.
That's
all
good.
Head coaches. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not hired on anybody else. So the night before, I'll text them and say, this is my proposed lineup. What do you think? And they all get back to me. As far as practice goes, I'm kind of like I'm an overseer, but Coach Jamal can fill you in because I let the younger guys handle the tough stuff, the hitting and all that stuff. Right?
Go ahead, Jamal.
Yeah, so it kind of depends on what our goals are, right? Depending on who we have coming up in the lineup, what our goals are, what we're looking to accomplish, what kind of game plan we can put together to beat the team that we're coming up against. And so a lot of times, depending on what happened the last game or the more previous game, we try to feed off of that. Try and correct some of those mistakes because there are times when we play great defense, but we don't hit the ball. And like I always tell the guys, like in order to win this game, you have to score runs, and in order to score runs, you have to hit the ball. You know, and if we can't hit the ball, no matter how good of defense we play, we're not going to win the ball game, right? And so there's a lot of times we take live BP. We have Coach Dre throws it a lot of the time to get them their timing under control. We work on a lot of situations. And just where to be on the field, position on the field. Like you said, baseball's a mental game. And it's like that. It's like lightning speed. So before the ball's hit, you got to know. If the ball's hit to me, this is the situation. This is what I'm going to do with the baseball. And so we work on that a lot. And it comes together more often than not.
And the base running?
And the base running. So the base running is a challenge at some points.
Well, here's the thing. Like, if you watch the Phillies, they went to the World Series last year, got on an unbelievable run, off to not a good start. And they're not playing good baseball. They're making a lot of bad base running errors, and they're not patient at the plate. So all these things help out in baseball. That's one thing I do know, and I get as frustrated as anybody, Jamal.
Yeah.
I just texted my guys yesterday and told them to watch the Phillies. Watch and
Well, they can
learn.
hit.
Watch and learn.
But they can lead off with a double. You got now. We can talk about small ball. How's the bunt? Let's talk about your bunting. Are you a good bunting team?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Opposite field.
We've thought about it.
Well, we do have guys that can hit oppo or opposite side of the field, but it's not. It comes accidentally.
Yes.
I'll say that. There isn't a time when a guy comes up and they're like, man, I got runners in scoring position. I'm going to hit the ball as a righty, I'm going to hit the ball to right field and knock a run or two in.
Right.
You know, we just
They
don't
don't
have
think
that yet.
It's not that IQ. Yeah, it's not there.
And you can see it on other teams like Chichester's.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Actually, I don't even think this is just my opinion, but I don't think other teams are even that.
I say
IQ?
Yeah.
I think
obviously teams have
Chichester
better
is.
IQ than we do.
Chichester is.
But I think we have better athletes than
Yeah, we have better athletes.
but they don't even think. I don't think coming into the box, they might know,
Right.
but I don't think they execute.
They
on
actually
it.
think, right.
A stud pit? Are there stud pit? Like what? Does
anything
anybody
you
have a
wanna say?
stud pitcher? Who's the best pitcher?
100%.
Top 5 pitchers you think in the Del Val? Can you put a name out there, or is everybody kind of equal? You know who you're facing tomorrow? Academy Park.
No idea.
I don't. They have a lefty. I think Academy Park. He's a tall guy. We kind of equate him to Randy Johnson and
I believe they have a freshman that's actually righty too. He throws sidearms, so you know how it is.
The key is throwing strikes.
That's right. That's the thing.
Just watching the Phillies and Sir Anthony Dominguez last week. He comes into the game and his ball, and you can almost tell right away he's off his game. You know.
Mm-hmm. So a lot of times we get over anxious and we swing at pitches that are not necessarily.
That's
strikes.
another thing. Yeah.
And I don't think while there are really good teams in the Del Val, obviously Chichester being the top one, their 8-0 record speaks for themselves. Maybe they haven't thrown their best against us. I mean, I understand why, but I haven't seen a top pitcher.
They actually threw their best the day before they played us against Carroll.
Okay.
Archbishop Carroll.
They did.
Carroll.
Oh yeah.
That was when they threw their best pitcher. That's
Okay.
what the coach told me.
And they beat Carroll.
Yes, they did. At Carroll.
That's impressive. That's impressive. So
Yeah, they're good.
yeah, so there's so many things go into baseball.
Yeah.
And you just you go up there and you try to tell your pitcher to throw strikes, and there's so much. We could talk all day about it. Do you get
That's
the
the one thing, because I've been doing this 4 years now, and most of those 4 years we've only had 1 or 2 pitchers we can count on. But this year, that was like a priority of mine. I wanted to stockpile pictures.
We've expanded it to about 5 or 6.
So we got like 5 or 6 now. So that's going to help us a lot.
But the key is throwing strikes,
right?
And mentality wise, I mean, we try and preach to our guys that a lot of times you might be lighting the zone up, and maybe the umpire just won't give you that call.
Right.
And so sometimes our guys, if that's the case, they can kind of get down on themselves and, you know.
How many umpires in high school? I forget. Just 2.
2.
That's it?
Yeah.
So which ones do you bust on the most? Home plate?
Me? Me? All of them.
Are they cool, though? Some umpires you can bust on. You know, some coaches have a way of, come on. I mean, you know.
They're old heads, man.
But some guys
most
can
of them
have,
are old heads.
some officials can have an attitude,
Old
too.
school. Yeah, they're old school.
I have a way, and this is just conventional baseball for me. I have a way of getting under umpire skin just by giving a look. And so that kind of works for me. But so some more egregious things I do have to, like, because I coach first base, so I have to charge down the line and kind of ask for clarification.
I'm more like the politician.
Are you
good.
Are
I'm
you?
good
Does he ever lose his cool?
Not really.
Not really.
I'm like a politician. I'm good at. Like,
I'm the pit
He
bull.
could throw a footboard. I can tell you that.
So what about the kids? What about the kids? You have to tell them. Like, if there's
Oh,
a
yeah,
pitch
I'll
inside,
call-
you think you got the guy struck out. You have anybody in the bench goes, "Come on, ump." What kind of calls that? Can you be thrown out of the game for that?
I
Yes.
think so. Yeah, you can't argue balls and
yeah,
strikes.
I tell them
but-
at every game. Pretty
But
much.
the thing, but for me, I'll like look at our catcher and I'll say, "Man, where did that miss?"
That's great.
He's not lying. That's
Well, yeah, and will the umpire look at? And you're so- I see
They
these
ignore me for the most part.
and some of the. I'm glad there's no fighting in high school baseball.
No.
The worst fights, Major League Baseball. These guys are insane. These guys are crazy.
Yeah.
And some of the I love Bob Boone played for the Phillies. Great catcher, world champ. He was calm, cool, collected, but his son's a crazy man.
Yeah.
Aaron, I love it though. He'll go and David Bell.
David Bell.
David Bell, the Reds. And so, do you ever see the John Boy thing when they're trying to John Boy's like he imitates people? It's like a,
I don't see
and he'll do it with coach managers arguing with umpires.
It's funny you say David Bell. I'm probably like David Bell in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I've seen him get ejected from a
But there's
number
only
of
so- I
games. It's
mean,
so
yeah,
like intense.
And it
These
is a tough
umpires will
job.
throw you out like that.
And it's not like and it's not like you're trying to be
coach,
mean or like
they'll throw
disrespectful
you
to
out.
umpires or anything like that. But I mean, you got to fight for your team, and you got to sort of.
Oh yeah,
Get in
but
there. But
sometimes
yet, they're old school.
balls and strikes is it's tough. It's tough. So
I think my favorite umpire is Bob Bennett. Bob
I don't
Bennett.
know if I know him.
Mark Bennett's dad. Mark Bennett.
Oh, Mark used to be
yeah,
Chester baseball coach
Yeah.
back in the day.
Bob Bennett's dad. He's in his mid 70s and he's still at it.
You can't see
And-
too well.
That's
But
Mark's
he gets
dad.
it. Yeah.
Yes. Wow.
He's one of my favorite umpires. He's great.
So
He's a great guy.
And the other coaches they don't say much from the bench. Dre.
Dre.
Dre being a pitcher and the pitching coach, if
Dre
we
doesn't
throw
like
some really good
pitches.
curveballs and some really good breaking pitches that get other batters kind of like
I would be thrown out.
shaky knee, then he gets
They're all.
So it's different than like in basketball. The coaches are a lot of coaches I see
Yeah.
between semi-pro and high school. They're not gonna watch the word, but they're complaining a lot. That's a foul. That's a foul. That's a foul. Constantly. Yeah, and they get it. So you guys have to watch saying, "Oh, come on, I mean, you have to watch that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm getting too involved in it, but that means a lot to the game. How composed you guys have to be.
I actually almost pulled one of them. The closing out game we just had threw a filthy curveball. It looked like it almost hit the kid, and it like dropped dead center in the middle. And our catcher just got the glove right there, like didn't
framed
move
it
it
perfectly.
just like sitting in there.
So
in
it's
the
fooled the
middle.
umpire.
Yeah, and I'm looking, I'm like, no, okay, keep your good, sportsmanship. He just give me back the ball. I told the catcher, just give me back the ball. Come on, next play, because
Yeah.
it's like
he was like,
So let's say you're up at the plate and it says, and it's strike three and it's way low and outside. Can you go to an umpire? Can you, a player, and say, "Oh man,
I mean,
can
me
you say
personally,
where was that? Ump?
Me personally, I wouldn't do that because
Can you say,
I have-
where was it?"
the catcher can do that, right?
Yeah, I think he can question it a little bit, like, but
So they're really tough on the high school.
They are, and we had a really really young umpire in the most recent game against Penwood up in Maple Zone.
Yeah,
and he was pretty good. He was like really by the book in a sense. And if you've been to Maple Zone, you know how those fields are stacked next to each other.
Oh yeah.
And so we were playing on the field right next to Penn State Brandywine and some other school. And so all night, and the game was a 6:00 start. So all night, balls were going back and forth over the fence, back and forth into the field. And so Eric's pitching.
Sorry to say I had a balk that game.
Well, that's
it
the
wasn't
point.
really. I'm not saying it's not my fault because there's no excuses. But they was like heads up. We had at least 7 to 8 balls come to our field that game.
So that's why it was
he
3.5 hours.
Yeah, he was in his full motion, and then so when he heard that, he stopped, and then the home plate umpire called a balk, and I did lose. I'm surprised I wasn't sitting on the bus after that.
He called a balk because of heads up.
Well, the ball wasn't coming, but the Penwood players were yelling that, and because we had already had instances where balls had come over, Eric had stopped in his full motion. And he called the balk.
But chirping between the players.
Yeah.
You get that during the game, too. I mean, do they?
Oh, yes.
The guys up
Certain
there. He
team-
can't hit the curveball or,
Yeah. Actually, all of them. Chichester was chirping last week.
I think it's all a part of baseball. I think just as long as there is no direct name calling or any curses or anything like that, I think it's all part of baseball.
He can't hit the curve.
Guys can't. It's true sometimes.
So I just wanted to bring that up because that's a big part of the game and teaching the kids to be controlled, disciplined. That's got to be tough in a game of baseball. So unbelievable.
Yep.
So want to thank you guys for coming out. I think Chester has produced a lot of professional players in baseball. And I got a list here.
You ever hear that name? Danny Murtaugh?
Yeah.
Danny Murtaugh?
Well, I have guys back in the 1800s, you got I'm going to throw names out because you never know. Somebody could be related. Dave Anderson, Harry Barton, Tom Berry, Joe Cassidy, Ted Cather,
TJ Chisholm. We actually played against TJ Chisholm back when Sun Valley was still a part of the Del Valle League. Back then we had Sun Valley, Harriton from out the main line.
Right.
We had Glen Mills was still there, so we had really a robust Del Valley team. And
So
TJ Chisholm was always lights out. If I'm not mistaken, he pitched and he maybe played infield, but as a pitcher he was lights out. I mean,
LaSalle went to LaSalle.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it was LaSalle. If I'm not mistaken.
I think so. That's right.
And he graduated. I think it's 2006, and they went to the state finals that year. I went to the game. I was a radio announcer in Lewistown and Altoona, where the Blair County Ballpark, where they hold the games. And it was against Pine Richland High School from Pittsburgh. And John Carr was the pitcher who went to Penn State, and they shut out Sun Valley. But anyway, at least they made it to the state final. Now, here's another stat. Only one Delaware County high school baseball team in 45 years of the tournament has won a PIAA state championship.
How many?
One.
Oh, wow.
One.
Do you want me to guess who that is?
Go ahead.
Say Interborough.
My buddy Mark Jordan, 2018 at Radnor.
Radnor?
No, my bad. Marple Newtown. Mark's at Radnor now.
Yeah.
Marple Newtown.
Jim Balk was there. Right?
Jim Balk was his assistant coach. He was having a great post game. So Mark was, and he actually took Marple Newtown to the state championship game in 2007. They lost in the state finals to Punxsutawney with Devin Mesoraco, who made the major leagues. Then he went to Radnor. Then he came back to Marple, if I'm not mistaken. It did.
Yeah, the main line, they've had some really good baseball players and good programs because actually Coach Balk was the Radnor head coach, I think, for like 40 years.
40 years.
And then he came to Chester back in the mid 2000s. And
What,
he
really?
Yeah.
Wow. So he's assistant under Mark now at Radnor. So Mark's been back and forth, but Marple Newtown is the only 2018 state championship baseball team, which is unbevable.
Nice.
There's only like 3, and this year favorite in 4A has got to be Bonner with Kevin, one of the top players in the country.
Kevin?
So yeah,
McGonigal?
Yeah, Kevin McGonigal.
Actually, if I could pull up Kevin McGonigal right now, I wanted to speak about that.
Oh yeah, go ahead, my man.
Kevin McGonigal, actually, I played 7 years of baseball with him. Kevin McGonigal, his dad, great coach, UDHL,
I think he went to Interboro.
Kevin.
Kevin, the dad. Yeah.
Kevin. But yeah,
Kevin's
speaking
dad,
of Kevin, actually, playing for a team with Kevin and playing against Marple that we was just talking about, that was the first time I actually hit the newspapers in 2017. Article, me pitching, having to hold the team down for myself because Coach Kev got thrown out the game, sadly. And, I had to put the team on my back as a pitcher. Wow. But speaking of Kevin McGonigal, yes, have multiple years with him. Pictures right now on my phone. It's just
2007.
Great.
Wow.
17.
So
Great player.
What level
Great
was that
player.
again?
That was about
So 6 years.
13, 12. Like, I played with Kevin since I was like 9.
Okay. It wasn't Little League. It was not Babe Ruth, was it?
It was Little League. Yeah, it was Dorman Field, I believe.
You played with him.
Yes,
and he's
Kevin
got one more
McGonigal,
year to go.
yes.
They've been to the state
Great
semis the
player.
last 2 years and lost at the 4A level, Bonner. So yeah, Kevin, there's a guy. Man.
Yeah, actually, you pull the article up from the 2017 article. You can actually see that during them years of 19 and 18, we actually won multiple championships together down in Marple, Newtown, Edgemont, multiple leagues. Well, it was a blessing playing with Kevin, I swear.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
And so, do you keep in touch with him?
Actually, I do keep in touch with multiple of my players. Jake, Drew, a couple Upper Derby kids.
Yeah,
Where's Kevin at now?
Kevin is actually, I believe, like he said, top 20 next year of the draft, I believe.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He's a senior. He's a senior this
Yeah.
year at Bonner. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So Marple Newtown baseball, man. I mean, that was
The
it.
Phillies have a guy from Bonner now on their team.
That's a
I think I was watching him at spring training. I forget his name.
That's a good question.
He's from Lansdale.
So I mean, yeah.
Somebody.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this Marple Newtown team from 2018. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, they beat
13, 14U. Yeah.
2018. They won the state championship. Marple Newtown. They beat Lower Dauphin in an unbelievable game, walk-off fashion, and it was
You're
going
going to win a championship.
it was a absolute
Right?
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
game for the ages. Mark Jordan, my buddy, he was also with me on DelcoHoops.com. He was the Radnor girls coach basketball for quite a while. So there it is. So Mark is now, Mark is now back at Radnor. Yeah, that was Luke Zimmerman had the game-winning walk-off. And the good old days when the Inquirer would cover high school sports, big time. Big time. And then Rick, my buddy Rick, I don't know what happened to him. Rick O'Brien. But Luke is
Yeah, I heard
now,
of him.
he's
They
still.
beat you, right? Did they beat you?
No, that's
Yeah, this
That's
is
high school.
This is high school, 2018. He had the game-winning hit, Zimmerman. But they had the Mathis brothers. They like three brothers, Mathis. They're playing Division I ball. They were 25-2. So Mark Jordan is absolutely the greatest. He's a funny guy, and his son is playing basketball now for Radnor. So sorry for So Marple Newtown, that's it. Wow. That's it. And the teams that made the finals, we had 2006, Sun Valley lost to Pine Richland. 2007, we had Marple with Mark as head coach lose to Punxsutawney, who played Clearfield back in the day.
We have the same colors as Marple Newtown.
Marple
so
Newtown.
maybe that'll.
There you go. And we had a
you go.
battle with them in football last year, and we'll probably meet up again this year in
and
the district.
basketball too.
And 2 years in a row, yeah, they get good stuff. So, all right, guys, we could talk forever. Any final word from you, Jamal?
Thanks for having us on, Dave. We've been talking about this for months. I know Coach Waters came on a few months ago, but it's great that you were able to have us back, so I appreciate it. Shed some light on some Chester baseball.
Okay, you got it, man. And Eric?
It's a blessing for having us. Once again, I like to put that out there.
Thank you. Eric Lewis.
Chester baseball is, like Coach Martin said, it's getting out there.
Yeah.
It's about time to,
Well, this show will
lock
help, and
in.
everything's archived on YouTube. But, yeah, I forgot to continue this up with TJ Chisholm, his father Tom, my old neighbor at Toby Farms back then. Tom graduated from Chester 71ish, 72, played in the Orioles system for a long time, finally made it to the majors, 79, but he was backing up Eddie Murray, who was, well, I'm trying my best. And Ben Davis is from Chester. He started at Chichester, I heard.
He's from Aston, right?
he born in Chester, but he Aston Little, Aston Middletown Little League.
Ben Davis, the catcher.
Yeah, and the Phillies announcer.
Yeah,
he played in the major leagues
know that.
and he eventually left Chichester to go to Malvern Prep, where his son Teg is playing, and going to Louisville. So there you go for that. So there it is. There's Ben, whose dad I know, Bill Davis, a star at old Essington High School, not Essington High School, Eddystone High School. Wow. I have all this stuff. I put it on Facebook too. Eddystone baseball. And then we had Danny Murtaugh, manager of the Pirates, won 2 World Series. He played in the major leagues from 1941 to 1951 from Chester High. All right, Phillies and Pirates. His son Tim played in the minor leagues. He's still hanging in there. Johnny Pagani, I know his son. He still goes to the games. His son, a great player at St. James back in the day. But Johnny played for Chester High, and he was 1940 to 46 in the major league. So and Steve Ryan almost made it with the Giants. And Ron Henry, backup catcher, 61 to 64 with the Minnesota Twins. Could not get by Earl Batty, who was a starting catcher. But it's just so tough. It's so tough, guys, to make the. Dan, final word from you.
I just wanted to thank you for having us on tonight. I really appreciate it. This has been, since I was blessed to be the head coach at Chester, this has been my mission. This has been my mission to get this team right, like Chester High football did.
Yeah.
And that's been my mission since day one. And I've got the right coaches in place. I got, like Jamal said, Coach Jamal said, we had 22 guys come out, which is the most ever since I've been here. So I just want to thank you for giving us the time to reach out and talk.
And
to
it's
people.
great you're
Thank
doing
you.
I love your promos. Who does that? Like the artwork there.
I think Coach Bell does that, and I
Yes.
just steal it and repost it.
Oh man, it's nice. No, you talk about the games, and then you give the updates. I like.
but the captioning, the that's me.
Okay,
That's all me.
Oh, it's very nice. Got the orange and black in there.
That's what I mean, man.
So all right,
You're the best.
all right. Dan Waters, manager, head coach. Eric Lewis, a junior on the team. We'll be keep following him, and Jamal Martin, assistant coach, and one of the greatest of all time. Before I go, when's the last time Chester beat Chichester? Did you ever beat them back in 2000s when you played? Do you remember beating them?
I didn't, but I think they may have beat Coach JR. May have beaten them in 2008.
Because my Chi guys are like, when's the last time?
so. I think so.
Anyway, good luck rest of the year. Thank you, John Pierre, for everything. I'm Dave Burman, and we'll see you next time on CMPRadio.net.